Tantra Vidya, a term that may sound small, but it hides deep mysteries within. Black magic, witchcraft, all of these are part of it. But Tantra Vidya itself is a vast ocean, whose depth no one can measure. Its depth is so dangerous that anyone who has even a glimpse or some part of it can perform things that no one could ever imagine. But as simple as it sounds, understanding its depth is just as strange. Mohini, a 23-year-old girl, was extremely beautiful with long, thick black hair that anyone who saw her would admire. But when anyone saw her fully, they would turn away. Though God had blessed her with beauty, she was physically disabled. An accident in her childhood left her paralyzed. She used to watch other children running and playing, and her heart would ache. Her life was now confined to a wheelchair. Watching others run, she would turn her wheelchair towards home and, upon reaching her house, would hide her face in her hands, crying and expressing her pain. Deep inside, she felt so trapped that she didn't even enjoy talking to anyone anymore. She had a little sister, Vaishali, who loved her more than anything else. Whenever Vaishali saw Mohini sad, she would always try to make her feel better. "Mom, where's Di? I've been looking for her for so long. She's in her room. She hasn't eaten anything again. I tried, but she locked herself in her room and won't let anyone in. Don't worry, Mom, I'll feed her," Vaishali would say, and she would go to Mohini, coaxing her into eating. Vaishali, despite being younger, took more care of her sister than of herself. She loved her beyond measure. As time passed, both sisters grew up, but their lives had taken very different paths, and it was now starting to affect Mohini mentally. Her sister's love and concern started feeling like a burden to her. One day, Vaishali asked Mohini, "What are you doing in Ma's room? I've been looking for you everywhere. I'm just in my room. Why can't I go anywhere?" "No, I didn't mean that. Look, my result is here. I topped in college." "That's great," Mohini replied, but she couldn't hide her bitterness. She snapped at Vaishali. "Why are you always showing off? I can't do what you can. Why don't you ever think about me?" She stormed off to her room, locking herself in, throwing things around in a fit of rage. Vaishali, hearing the noise, ran to her and hugged her to calm her down. "Are you okay, Di? What's wrong? Leave me alone. I don't need anyone's help," Mohini replied angrily, shooing Vaishali away. Vaishali left the room, and as soon as she did, Mohini smiled eerily, having taken a few of Vaishali's hair strands during the hug. "I've got what I need. Now everything will be fine. Soon, you won't be living this crippled life anymore." That night, when everyone was asleep, Mohini quietly prepared herself. She had found an old book and placed the hair strands Vaishali had left behind inside it. The next day, Vaishali came home from college feeling exhausted. Everyone was having breakfast when she noticed something strange about Mohini. "Today you seem very happy. Why so?" "Why not? What right do only you have to be happy? I have every right to be happy too," Mohini replied in a strangely cheerful tone. Later, Vaishali accidentally injured herself when she bumped into Mohini's wheelchair. As Vaishali went to bandage her forehead, Mohini took the opportunity to clean up the blood Vaishali had spilled and hid it in a cloth. As night approached, Mohini waited eagerly for her plan to unfold. She continued reading from the Book of Tantra, performing a ritual with Vaishali's blood in her own hair. After several tense minutes, both of them started experiencing unusual sensations, as though their bodies were being pulled away from their souls. Suddenly, Vaishali felt a strong shift. She realized that something was terribly wrong when she saw herself lying on the bed. But before she could comprehend, Mohini's soul had already entered Vaishali's body. Mohini, now in Vaishali's body, walked to her room and confronted the real Vaishali, whose body was now lying lifeless. Mohini killed her own body to fake her death and took over Vaishali's life. Everyone believed that Mohini had passed away, and Vaishali's body was buried as hers. But in truth, Mohini was living on through her sister's body. Now the world thought Vaishali had married Mohini's love interest, Mohit, but in reality, it was Mohini living in her body, fulfilling all her desires.